Today I'm doing a huntress guide, and I will explain her abilities, good items to use on her, and her basic playstyle. This guide is for beginners, so not much complicated stuff will be discussed. It's all going to be simple items and stuff, no complex builds, blah 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 blah. No DLC items, because I'm assuming you don't have the DLC if you're a beginner. And yeah, let's get into it. But make sure to go watch me on Twitch and subscribe and like, and yeah. Getting right into her abilities. Her first ability, first primary, is called Strafe. It's just an arrow that auto-locks into enemies. You wait for the icon to pop up and you left click. You hit them for 150% damage. She shoots every 0.5 seconds with this ability, with basic attack speed, of course. And you are able to sprint while using this. This is the main thing about Huntress, is that you can sprint and attack at the same time. A downside to the auto lock is that you have to be in a 60-meter radius, so at some point it's, kind of, you can't attack at all, but like it's usually not too big of an issue. Her other primary, Flurry, is similar to a Strafe, but instead of one arrow you fire 3 arrows for 3 times 100% damage every 1.3 seconds at basic attack speed. Auto locking system is the same, and shoot while sprinting is the same for this too, so yeah, pretty similar. Now, initially, Flurry is worse than Strafe because of the less damage and the lower firing speed. But what makes this primary so good is the fact that critical hits fire 6 arrows, which is just so good. It's actually insane. This allows also the crit steal 4 times the damage, which is insane. It's really good. It's so much better than the Strafe when later on into the game. Early on, Strafe is better, but like, you're playing it for the end game, so definitely I would use Flurry. It's much funner to use. To unlock this, you must complete the finishing touch challenge by landing a killing blow on every hit with a laser glaive, which is her secondary. And speaking of her secondary, laser glaive. You just shoot out a glaive. It bounces around enemies up to 6 times, dealing 250% damage and increasing by 10% per bounce. There's a decently long 7-second cooldown for it. The same auto-lock rules apply to this ability. This ability is mainly used for crowd control and stuff. You can't really use it for one big hit on an enemy. The default utility is called Blink, which allows you to teleport a few meters forward wherever you're facing. You can include up, down, and like left and right and all that stuff. It also has a pretty long 7-second cooldown, which I find absurd for this ability. Because the other utility is Phase Blink, pretty much exactly the same. You just can't go up or down, just forward. But you have 3 charges with it, and each charge being a 2-second cooldown. So you basically get a smaller blink, but 3 times. So definitely use Phase Blink. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just nicer. I mean, unless you really want to go blink upwards, I guess. But like, Phase Blink is just so much better in my opinion. Now you unlock Phase Blink by completing the one-shot, one-kill challenge by carrying 12 crowbars at once. Just his default special is called Arrow Rain. You jump into the sky, you stay there until you pick an area to target, and then arrows rain from that area, dealing 330% damage per second. Enemies that get hit by these arrows also get slowed. The arrows hits 19 times over 6 seconds, dealing 2090% damage, assuming the enemies are actually in that area, which is very difficult to do because the area is so small, and enemies can just, walk out of it, which isn't that hard. Our other special is called Ballista. Similar to Arrow Rain, you teleport into the air, except you go a little bit backwards, and you fire up to 3 bolts, dealing 3 times 900% damage. Now you can unlock this by completing the Piercing Wind challenge by staying above 100% health as Huntress on either Scorched Acres or Rally Point Delta. So honestly, Ballista is just better than the Arrow Rain. It's much easier to hit, it's much more effective. You only deal a little bit less damage, and it's just better because you can guarantee a hit. Enemies have to actually sit inside the arrow rain, and the radius is too small to be that effective. It's basically useless. Okay, so now for the best items to use as Huntress. Now, there's 100 of different ways you can, get items and make a build for Huntress. But I'm just going to explain the most effective and simple ones. Because she can sprint and attack, you want to get items that buff your sprint, such as energy drinks, rose bucklers, and Little Disciple. So Little Disciple allows for a constant attacking while sprinting with the little wisps that come out. Rose Buckler, defends you, adds shield for you, and energy drinks increase your speed. Now these three items I would focus on the most, and these other items that I would mention will just help you in general. Now these next items are really good on any other character, but I'm just still gonna mention them because you want to pick them up. If you use a Frenzy primary, which you definitely should, gaining a lot of crit glasses will allow you to shoot 6 arrows constantly, which is a necessity if you're using this ability. And on top of that, get items that go well off crits, like Shatter Spleen, Harvester's Scythe, and Predatory Instincts. Okay, so this is basically sounding like any other character. Like, these items are just good on anyone. This basic build is very simple, works on any character. Some other items you want to get is like backup mags to allow you to have multiple laser glaives and allow you to have more crowd control. Also, you can get like alien heads or stuff that reduces cooldown to allow you to use your glaive more often. To help with your crowd control, get some Will-o'-the-Wisps and Gasoline to help you clear enemies faster. When you kill something, they all set on fire. It's just much easier to crowd control with that. Now, because of your low health, you want to get some infusions or shield generators just so you can get some extra health in there so you don't die immediately. Now, if you're using the Strafe primary, you can pick up some crowbars to instantly kill stuff. It also helps the laser glaive to instantly kill stuff. So definitely pick up some crowbars even if you're not running Strafe. Now, I will include some items that you should stay away from. These items are like Leeching Seeds and Bustling Fungus. Now, there's other items that, you aren't too good on her, but these I just don't like because they ruin her playstyle because she needs to be always moving. So if the fungus are useless pretty much. I mean, you could pick up one or two, but like, I would stay away from it. And same with the Leeching Seeds. You're not constantly dealing damage like you will with Multi or Commando. You're not going to get enough healing for how little you attack because you have such a slow fire rate. So yeah, a basic play style is to always be running and to get hit as low as possible. That's with most characters, but her specifically because you can shoot and run at the same time. And since you'll be running with Rose Buckler on, you should have good defense so you can tank a few hits. And like I said, you want to use her glaive for crowd control. And then you want to use her special, which should be the ballista. That's where you should be running on her to deal high damage attacks on bosses or elite enemies. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful somewhat to someone. Yeah, if you like that, go check out the rest of the series and subscribe. Yeah, bye.